I found it disrespectful that the NBA still continues to have people wearing number 23. I think they need to do what they do in hockey. Wayne Gretzky, 99, nobody can wear that. Right. Same thing should be like that for NBA. There should be no AD, Draymond Green, Lou Williams wearing 23. You know what I mean? Fred VanVleet. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I'm sorry, no disrespect to them. They're all good players, but you're not on this level, you know? So.
Moving on to the new thing that's hot right now, Verzuz.
Oh, yeah.
Who would you like to see going hit for hit?
JR, start it off, man.
To be honest, my hit for hit would have to be Drizzy and Wayne. Seeing Drake and Lil Wayne would be fire. That's tough. Because they both really, like, they're in the record books, they're always in the top 10. You always see Wayne and Drake now.
Well, question for you on that. Because Drake and Wayne are like the same label. If they have to do tracks on the same tracks with it, that's gonna cancel itself out, no? Or
they would only play like their part or their verse, you know?
Okay.
Like example, if Wayne did a hook on a Drake song, he would only use that hook. He would play the hook in his verse. Okay. And then like go on to the next. Drake would do the same type thing.
Continue.
But it would be great, man. That would pump up heavy. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Anybody else? Just those two?
For me now, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Beans? What do you think?
Man, I'd love to see Snoop and Jay go at it.
Jay-Z or J. Cole?
Jay-Z, man.
Okay, just make sure.
Jay-Z.
yeah, elaborate.
No, because you already know these guys are pioneers in the hip-hop game, man. One was from the West Coast, Death Row Records. You already know how that goes. Yep. And, you know, the infamous Rockefeller, right? You already know they were the king of New York for a long time, so you know they got the material. You know they got the hits.
True that.
Snoop Dogg has a delivery like no other when he came into the rap game, and Jay-Z had that delivery and the lyrics like no other. So these two are juggernauts of hip hop. I would love to see them go toe to toe. Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar. All right, and the reason why is because Kendrick Lamar, man, he's at a position. I know he's kind of been kind of cold the last, I'd say, even year, 18 months.
I wouldn't say cold, I'd say inactive.
Inactive, let's put it that way. Inactive makes sense, you know. Cold is kind of harsh. Inactive is like maybe he's cooking something up in the lab and we don't know. You feel me? And you already know Kanye West, man. Kanye West he's a pioneer in a different sound. Like he had different sound waves in his career, in his hip hop career. So definitely.
I'd put Ye in 50.
Kanye West in 50 Cent?
That's
amazing.
dope too. Look at you. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Because 50 can hang.
Why?
Because 50 can hang. Does Kanye have that many hits?
But Kanye is a producer rapper, and the other one's a gangster rapper.
Hey, don't do him like that.
It's not even like that, bro.
Huh? But it's a different type of sound, though. You don't think so?
Not really.
No, okay.
I mean, it's two different kind of sounds and two different types of maybe hip hop.
But we're talking hit. We're talking hit for hit.
But every hit is different. So like you
put
has a
hits,
pop
bro.
artist against a
really
rap
all
artist.
that matters is how the individual puts the mix together, right? Because you have to think about putting a mix together to present to the fans to show you that my songs are better than this guy. So you're telling me like 50 couldn't come up with a nice production of hits to go against Ye? Of course, Ye could come up with a great production. He's a producer, but 50 could do the same. 50 got bangers.
No, that's a fact.
Absolutely.
That's
a good one.
No, these are all good opinions. It's very hard to beat, in my opinion. But if I was gonna say, if we're gonna go the hits that I would like to see, I'd rather see DMX against Jay-Z personally, because I just feel that there's too much disrespect on DMX's name. Because I know if we go for the first 5 years from like 96, you know what I mean, 2001, those two rappers, I think DMX's top 10s can compete with Jay-Z, you know, in my opinion. Because I just gave that time period, 96 to 2001, okay? So there's a lot of disrespect on both sides. Yeah, on those first 5 years.
That's DMX, right?
DMX and Jay-Z.
But here's the thing. Why are you stopping at 2001 for Jay-Z? That's not fair to Jay-Z.
That's not fair to DMX too, man.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Man. And this is all disagree on that, because I'll tell you this.
Become an actor, man. Life changed, man.
Nah, bro, you can't do that. Yo, Sino, listen up. Listen up. If you go 96 and I was there in 93, and then you say 2001 and I was there in 2006, That means I still got material that was still banging. Why you gonna just discredit my work?
Nah, G.
Nah, man.
I specify.
So
my thing, man.
blueprint's out the picture. Because you say that?
Blueprint's there.
How? Why used to
Yeah, Blueprint 1 is there.
Wasn't Blueprint 2003?
No,
Am I wrong?
2001.
2001?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the
Blueprint's
last
there.
one. So no,
That's fine.
no
That's
black
good
album?
enough.
No black album on that.
Oh, we have the retirement album now?
Oh, man.
Why he's a
Serious?
seasoned vet?
Oh,
like,
man.
yo, why you need all this, man?
I'm just
yo,
saying.
He's talking about
because
hits. We
DMX's
don't need the
best
whole
albums,
career, man.
Here's what I'm saying.
I specified the
DMX's
timeline.
best albums, they all came in a window that was short.
Yeah.
Longevity matters in hip hop, man.
No, that's
Because
fine.
there's different kind of sounds.
Yeah.
Right? So for you to be able to elevate your skill set to change with the times, don't discredit the man like
It's
that.
true. It's true.
Hey,
Like,
man.
He's basing it on a time frame.
Yeah.
You're basing it
On
on
the
a
whole
career.
career.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but overall, if it was hit for hit, these two would have a great battle, actually.
Yeah, facts.
I agree.
Rather than put their top 10 or just their
100%.
key ones in the album.
Yeah.
100%.
But
We got
so-
time for another
Yeah,
one? or-
got
so I know you like trap music, man.
Yo, let me finish this, okay?
Oh, we got more.
For
Okay,
real,
we got
like,
time
yo,
for
that
more.
was okay.
Go ahead.
I would like to see real talk, Jeezy against Ross. 'Cause
Oh,
now that-
yeah.
We won't really
I was
see
thinking
like,
that.
you know what I mean? Because for hit, both are there. You know, you got Rick Ross. You know what I mean? The former CEO, and then you know what I mean, the Empire guy. No, he did his thing. Shout out to him, yo. And I'm not saying anything discredit. I'm just saying the way he did his thing. You know what I mean? And then at the end they got Jeezy BMF about that life. You know what I mean? They got some hits. You know what I mean?
Big Meech.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the
Cherry's
day,
home.
it's tough. It's tough because one's a lyricist, one's a storyteller. But the hits are
Who's the lyricist?
Rick Ross.
Okay.
And then the storyteller's Jeezy.
Oh,
I remember
Rick Ross was a
nights.
storyteller
I damn,
too,
you
man.
don't have to get it right. You don't know about
hear
that.
you.
You hear that
You
list?
got
That
to
mean
go,
nothing
yeah.
to you, man. It has no feeling to it. It's like,
Did you guys forget Hustler?
Okay,
Hustler?
that's cool.
Huh?
It was
Port of
a nice-
Miami? Are you guys
yeah,
not on the time?
that's fine.
Don't just discredit Rick Ross now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
gee.
don't want to know them within nights. Are you crazy,
Yeah,
bro?
gee.
Come on,
You
man.
know about it?
Hey.
You know about Grown Ass Man
Anyway.
intro?
Anyway.
You know what I mean? You know how that shit
All I'm
bangs?
letting you know
I'm
is
just
this.
saying, man.
Listen.
Here I
You can
stand.
pull your Jesus
Grown
tracks,
ass
I
man.
can pull my
all by
rose. Trust me, I'm ready.
Yo, go ahead.
There's battles on. I'm
Go
telling
ahead,
you.
man.
Like, there's so many battles we could do. Because that's the beautiful thing with hip hop is there's so much material and so many great artists. We can have these conversations. It's the beauty with it, you know?
But do you have any winners for your battles or no?
Okay, me, DMX is killing Jay-Z. I'm sorry, like, Jay-Z's good, I'm not doubting that, but I'm saying DMX, he was a problem. You know what I mean? Like, just because the drug shit, I'm just saying the whole style of just, he could rap fast, he could rap slow, and then he'll just bark. You know what I mean? Go at your head. Like, we seen the backstage documentary, you want to check that? It's 2000, right? There's an infamous freestyle with DMX, Jay-Z, and the Muslim guy. I don't know his name. He said, Assalamu alaikum, you know, as he killed that freestyle. Go check that. Yo, DMX went in on that, you know? So, what about you? Who would win your battles?
I don't know, man.
Who'd win your battles?
I don't know. I actually
No?
don't know.
What about you, Jared?
I don't know.
Me between Wayne and Drake, I wouldn't know.
I think Wayne would kill him.
Oh.
You know, he came under BG. He came under Juvie. Yo, he from the projects,
Yeah.
man. I'm not trying to say it's not Drake never chose his lifestyle, but with Lil Wayne, I think where you come from make you have more heart, more like of a sickness in you that just you don't care. You go for whatever you got to do. You know
That
what I
was a
mean?
good selection, but you know what I mean? If I pick these two, it's because the teacher and the student with the Wayne and Drake. So you know what I'm saying? If I would have probably fall more on the Wayne side, just because he gave that.
He's
blueprint
grounded
to
in there,
Drake,
man.
You know what I mean?
90s.
And Wayne came
2000s.
and Wayne learned his stuff from Jay-Z too. The way he changed
Yeah.
his rap style
Yeah.
too. So it's like his mentor, and his even mentor is like, damn. When I heard the "Show Me What You Got" freestyle, he had to look himself in the mirror and question himself, should I rap again? That's crazy.
He
You're
said
talking
that
about
himself.
Jay-Z said that himself. So you got a man, the greatest though. We call him, you know, the greatest of all time in the rap game. Question himself after Lil Wayne. It's crazy, and both have the same last name. You know what I mean? There's no relations, but it's what is it? The Carter.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
So
That's
it's
also a battle we should, even think about, right? Is Jay-Z versus Wayne. Either way, great material. Appreciate the question, Cino, man. You already know what it is. Straight
What are
facts.
your thoughts on Meek Mill's going after 6ix9ine since it just came out?
I get it, man. Meek Mill, especially, having gone through the system, having, taken the time, done it the right way. For him to see somebody just literally cop out so publicly and then come out and then make fun of the whole situation, kind of troll the whole situation. Even his whole story with the 41 million views on his first track, I don't even want to give it publicity or no attention, but I understand where Meek Mill is saying, yo, that's terrible for the culture, man. Forget this music shit that you guys are out here saying it's okay, it's business, it's okay. No. Let's go back to theories and principles, man. We're out here allowing somebody that did something that wasn't righteous in regards of ethical code, and we decided to just go ahead and let it slide, and now he's making fun of it. We can't have that in the hip-hop culture.
Facts.
That's my point of view on it. So what do you think, man?
Yeah, I agree with you totally. Like, it's just sad, you know what I mean? Like, you get yourself in a situation, and you know you wasn't supposed to be about it, and then the first thing you do is you cop a plea, you know? You just like, you're not going to accept your consequences, you know? There's not a lot of real ones that can do that, but you also should know that you should never put yourself in a situation. If you know you're not about it, don't pretend, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people are successful being who they are, you know what I mean? Like, the world is different now. It's not the way where yours, where like you have to put an image, you know? They accept anybody, you know what I mean? Anybody who has talent, who can make something out of themselves, they can do it, but now it's like, you have to pretend to be a thug. You have to get all these tattoos, get all the image just for the likes, just for the attention. But then like you're really a fraud. You look at yourself like that's not me. I ain't gonna do that. Yeah. It's sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Jay, what do you think?
It definitely might be a little deeper for him once he's alone and he looks at himself in the mirror and shit. And so I see Zo's point, and 6ix9ine going. I feel like these niggas, they kind of have to let it ride, bro. They just gotta let this ride, because it's gonna burn out at some point. You know, he won't be able to beef with people for too long. People won't care at one point. You know, it's either your music's gonna last or it's not gonna last, bro. And let him do his thing.
Here's my thing. When you say let him do his thing, this is what I'll say. Once the money's gone, once the music has passed its time, you still gotta live with what you did.
But he said he regrets it. He regrets it.
I don't know,
because he's
here's the thing. I saw a video of him like that he just released a week ago.
Yeah.
Where he's explaining and almost kind of giving his version as to why it was
like he wanted us to make it seem like it was okay.
And now it's a matter of now you're trying to have people choose where it's like, well, yeah, you know what? In that situation, maybe I would go ahead and tell. But all that aside, no. You violated a code. That's what it is. That's what it was. That's what it always will be. You brought in a Jim Jones. You brought in a Cardi B. They weren't under investigation, right? They weren't being looked at. You put the flashlight on them. You did the police work for them. And not only that, you take a look at something that people tend to forget. You can't hire someone to do something and then go ahead and report that person for doing what he did. You hired him. You know what I'm saying? I think people tend to forget that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, to me, it's like, forget this business aspect of it. It's bad for culture. It's bad for
ethics.
Ethics, exactly. You feel me, right? So to me, that's where I stand. So I understand where Meek Mill is coming. Is he gonna be able to achieve it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know, but I understand why he's doing it.
If he got, I'm pretty sure Meek could like bring some writers with him, like Snoop. He funny, man. He could troll back, you know. They need like a troll leader. 6ix9ine's like the troll king right now.
Well, yeah, I think like
and these kids are worshiping him.
Like to be honest with you, I think at the end of the day it wins for both parties, cause right, you know he doesn't respect him, okay? But who's gonna make money by coming at him, right? Meek Mill's still relevant, you know what I mean? He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna expose him for being who he is, but the guy's still one of the most popular artists. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win. At the end of the day, this guy continues to be controversial, but Meek Mill's still gonna make his name out there because he's going against the best.
I don't think it's coming for out of position.
It's not coming for that, but they're gonna win.
No, what I'm trying to say, and I hear you, I totally get it, but I don't think he's even taking a point of view or a direction of let me make some money off of this or let me win. I think he's just disgusted with the individual. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just disgusted with the fact like, yo, what the fuck? Because every time I look at 6ix9ine on TV, on YouTube, on IG, on whatever platform, I think, what the fuck? Right? So for people that's actually been through the system and actually had to live a certain way and to see the coin flip that way, and that person actually winning off of that flip, for sure they're disgusted, man. For sure. That's my point of view on it. I don't know. You guys want to add anything to this?
I agree with what you're saying.
I agree with
some of what There's a win and then there's a loss to the situation. Either he's going to stay relevant or it's just going to pass.
So and it's going to pass, bro.
Only one can put an end to his career is basically like himself. You know, get back in jail. That's what it is, yeah, real talk. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but then he knows how to get out. He knows the recipe to be right back on the street. What you mean, man? He's seen the recipe. He knows how to get right back to the street, man.
It doesn't mean he might be getting out the next time.
Who would you say was your rap Mount Rushmore that's still alive?
So the Mount Rushmore, I would say, would be Jay-Z, Drake, Lil Wayne, and Eminem. And I'm going to break it down to you why. For example, Jay-Z in total has sold over 36 million worldwide. We're talking about from 1996, and he's still even coming out with albums in 2020, you know? But at the end of the day, this guy has a long career. He has impacted the NYC, the hip-hop game. And then we're going to go to the South. Lil Wayne, his like protege, you know? Like basically the youngin' that came up under him. He even tried to sign him at one time, but you know, Birdman wasn't having that. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, he ain't taking my most prized possession. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, Lil Wayne has sold over 100 million worldwide. We're talking about just from the gutter of the bling bling to, you know, lollipop. That's where the success came. Like, it's crazy. And then you already know Drake, he has already passed Elvis and Eminem in total sales. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Over 218 million. Like, just disrespectful. And then, at the end of the day, like, Eminem is the greatest, you know? Like, in my opinion, because just the way he just came up under the 8 Mile, under the tutelage of Dr. Dre, and just like, there's no rapper that came out and said, I can take Eminem. They're afraid of this guy because they know he can if he disrespects his own mama, what's he going to do to you? You know what I mean? So, let's go.
All right, so my 4 would probably be Hove would be 1. I would go Drake. I would also do 50 Cent. And number 4 for me would probably be Dr. Dre.
As a rapper?
I would say even, yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Like, for real, what Dr. Dre did back in 92, me when I was a kid, falling into hip-hop, I fell into Dr. Dre. So Dre and Snoop Dogg and all that. So the mind behind it all, he would be in the Mount Rushmore.
Right.
A plan, the idea, the grind, the hustle. Dr. Dre would be a great example for any artist, and that's a fact.
A straight fact.
That's a fact.
That's a hard fact.
But you.
That was it for you?
That's
Go ahead.
So I kind of like both of your lists. They're very similar to mine. Because whenever I see Mount Rushmore, to me it's like trendsetters. You left your mark in hip hop. You changed hip hop. You basically you're timeless, right? So my 4, Jay-Z, of course, you mentioned it. It's no surprise. Lil Wayne, you mentioned as well. To me, it's no surprise as well. His album work, the mixtape, the Drought series. He's done so much for hip hop. Lil Wayne got there at 14 years old. It was easy. The Carter's 3 went platinum in a day, if I remember correctly. Carter 1 was just coming out party. Carter 2 is to me is uncertified classic. So for sure Lil Wayne's on that list. I'm gonna go to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, I think people don't realize how he impacted hip hop. He was able to bring smoothness, creativity, flow, delivery, and still keep it gangster, still be himself, still keep it within his origins. You see what I'm saying? And he was doing that all through Death Row. He went to No Limit. He did it independent. Like, Snoop Dogg is timeless. He has 7 platinum albums. 7. 12 total albums. That's a lot of music, right? So you gotta respect it. I'm gonna go back to New York with Nas. Best songwriter to me. I know earlier we spoke about Tupac and them. Nas, from the Illmatic to the Stillmatic, Made You Look to One Mic, right, to If I Rule the World, right? He had that track with Diddy.
Hit Me Now.
Hit me now. That's another one. Thank you very much for refreshing my memory. So that's 3. That's 3 I mentioned right now. And my 4th. So I said Snoop. I said Jay-Z, Lil Wayne.
Oh no, that's your 4th.
That's my 4. That's my 4. So that's my more. There's so many more that I could name, man. Because once again, that's hip hop.
Honorable mentions.
DMX, Eminem,
Yeah,
DMX for sure.
You know.
Drake, right? We can't dismiss what Drake is doing right now, especially in a time where album sales are not what they used to be, right? There's so many artists, but those are my four. These guys, you know, they created hip hop. They set a trend for us. They're the forefathers of hip hop, man. So to me, that's my four. I'm sticking with.
100.
When you say pay taxes, what do you mean? Like go ahead and give them like a little fee, give them some change type of thing?
Pretty much, bro.
That's welfare, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Why are we asking rappers to do welfare? If you're gonna ask rappers to pay taxes, make it beneficiary for them. So if they pay, at the end, when they retire from rap, they consider themselves retired rappers, they get some of that money back. If it's going to be taxed, let it be the right way. But don't be like, yo, we're gonna create a welfare system for these OGs because they ain't getting no cash. My G, instead of doing that, why don't you go to the OGs and start making businesses with them, you know? Helping them out, you know?
Okay.
Doing some down payments, I don't know, G.
I totally agree with
Come on,
JR
bro.
on this one. Like, and not only that, but it would almost be insulting. Like,
Yeah, G.
we're giving you some, you know,
That's disgusting,
stay
bro.
alive money and stay.
And you want people to
stay
look up to the
alive.
OGs? Why would you ask the youngins to help, like, to
Yeah.
pay them welfare?
Yeah. If anything, what I'd hope is that these OGs and these trendsetters were able to transition into the next venture. We're able to learn the industry and the business side of things and go ahead and start the next chapter that would also pave the way for the young rappers. But to go ahead and start giving out freebies, come on, man. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. What do you feel, so?
I feel like if you're gonna do it like what you mentioned, if you do it, it's gonna be like an association. So
Yeah,
like for
yeah.
example,
Beautiful.
okay, if I'm gonna pay for these people, when it's time for me, I'm gonna receive something as well. Not just because it's a different game now. It's a social media, it's digital, so there's more money. There's more money than rappers have ever had before. So there shouldn't be a jealousy because when you pave a way for someone, it's obviously someone's gonna benefit, you know, as you see in The Last Dance, you know, like today NBA players are getting beautiful contracts. Back then, it was, you know, cents on the dollar. It is what it is. You shouldn't be mad because somebody's getting more money. You should just be grateful. But I still think you should help those ones that paved the way because unfortunately they didn't know what they had, you know? The venues wasn't as good as they had to fight their way. So I feel like, yeah, you should definitely find a way to take care of the ones that gave you an opportunity because they're the ones that pushed the door for you and you should give back because at the end of the day, you got all this free game. By just sitting in the trenches, just watch them do other mistakes and you came up, you know? It depends obviously when you're born, but I feel that you have to respect the struggle and the journey where it is today. Like, look at Barack Obama. The man had to see Rodney King get beaten and all these other things that happened before Emmett Till and all that to finally, like, you know what? They made a movie, Head of State, 2003, Bernie Mac, Chris Rock, to basically say, yo, this is what it'd be like to have a black president. The man took that concept and ran with it. And then, you know what I mean? It happens, you know what I mean? Like, everyone gets a certain way. So you have to pay homage. Is that what I say, you know? Straight facts right there. You gotta check that.
You know what? Hey, that's kind of well put together. I like how you actually, you know, thought all that through.
Straight facts.
You know what I'm saying? But on a serious note, like, that idea is as funny as his last comment. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not giving out no freebies, but yeah, definitely find a way to kind of work.
Yeah, maybe use
The
your
forefathers,
samples,
you know?
some shit like that.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what we need to be doing, and that's the way I think they would want it too, right? They don't want no free cash,
Right.
but they do want to be able to have a venture, right, where they're able to go ahead and still stay relevant.
Now, Eminem made a comment of his opinion, Tupac being one of the great songwriters of all times.
Yeah.
If I ask y'all got other people that y'all add to this category, or would you just go simply plain and agree with Eminem?
I mean, what do you think, man? I know you don't.
No, I feel like there's so many great songwriters, so it's like just to limit it just to Tupac is like it's a disrespect to the game of songwriting, to all those people that make those hits after this man has passed away, because it's not like music stopped when he passed away. Life goes on, you know, like one of his tracks. You feel me? And then at the end of the day, it's like, I respect Tupac. This guy made songs from Brenda Got a Baby to like Dear Mama, to two of America's Most Wanted. It's some real Hellraiser, you know. A lot of tracks that, as a youngin, when you were angry and stuff, you just wanted to hear that stuff. Because if you got a beat down, you know, you messed up in school and stuff like that, you failed the test, you didn't make no squad, you had some rage, so you go listen to Tupac. So he'll make you feel angry, make you feel sad, and at the end of it, that's good. But I feel like also there's other artists like Jay-Z, because it'll teach you how to be an entrepreneur, how to get yourself out of being a, you know, like, what's the word they call square Larrys? You know what I mean? Just no ambitions, try to stay behind that desk. So there's all types of artists. I feel like, you know, you got Ice Cube, you got Beyonce, who makes all these types. So what do you think?
Just off the top of my head, I'll give you, at the same kind of time as Tupac, Nas. Nas will give you songs as a songwriter where the song Rewind, he literally told the whole story backwards, and then you're like, what? That's genius. You take a look at even we forget Kanye West. Kanye West was a great songwriter. He gave us the College Dropout.
Lil Wayne.
That's another one. He came out with a lot of material, right? I want to go back to Queens again. Nori, Capone Noriega, they did their thing. Mobb Deep, they did their thing, right? So Drake in today's hip hop, Drake is known as being one of the best songwriters even today. I think Drake can actually tell himself, like, put himself on a pedestal where he's one of the best songwriters of all time. So to say just Tupac, there's too much talent in hip hop. 50 Cent,
because he made the game's first album.
Yeah,
like he literally wrote that, and he's like, "Yo, I didn't get no credit for that." He's
Scarface.
Like, did
we mention Scarface?
No, we didn't.
No, Scarface in the South. UGK, man.
Andre 3000.
Yes,
Mr.
Outkast. So there's so many people out there that just destroyed it when it comes to just putting the pen to the pad and dropping great songs. That just to say, Tupac.
But I could agree that he's in the top five.
It's like only having one spice.
Yeah.
Right.
You need everybody else, man.
That's how you build the culture.
Yeah.
Where it is and where it started.
Yeah, man.
So just saying Tupac was the greatest songwriter of all time is too limited.
It's too limited. Hip hop is too great
to
just put one name on that list. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of great rappers out there, man.
But I could say that Tupac's influence has inspired the game because even in all types of music, they still got storytelling, you know. So even if it's in like the drum music or whatever, the drill music and all that stuff, like they still got a story to tell, and they still tell stories in, like, you know, the dance clubs. It's all types of beats, you know.
I want to mention Rick Ross, man. I think he's gone under the radar. Like Rick Ross is a great songwriter, man. This guy he could give you a story, and his albums, it's not hard to see what he's saying, right? So that's another one, you know, I'm going to give you. Listen, hip-hop, we have a lot of songwriters. Keep it coming. We love it.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, you're a big Jay-Z fan, Mellow, man. I know for sure you're talking
time
Jay-Z all day.
in hip-hop.
All right, now moving on to the sports. What are your thoughts on the Last Dance series?
The Last Dance series is amazing. Seeing Jordan and his work ethic and how dedicated he was to the game of basketball was something that I personally didn't grow up watching, you know? And I'm one to say that LeBron is probably one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And he'd be in my argument, but after that documentary, I shut my mouth. Straight up.
It's definitely eye-opening. It's refreshing. It's great to see that competitiveness just come out so raw. I know people are going to come out and say, well, listen, a lot of things that he did aren't necessarily the most sportsmanship-like aspects of sports. And to that you say, well, winning has a cost, right? The very best results require a number of sacrifices. And one of those sacrifices for Jordan was being the fun-loving guy. He would rather be that professional, that in-your-face, I'm going to challenge you at the highest cost. That way you can come back and excel when it's time for you to excel. And he did it. He took a bunch of players that weren't necessarily good to great, and he made them excel, and then won 6 championships. Two three-peats. That's big, right? You gotta respect that. So to me, like you said, JR, it definitely opens eye to the conversation. Wait a minute. He's the ultimate GOAT.
Wait a minute.
Right?
That's what I said.
Like,
wait a minute.
Yeah, he's the
3 in a row.
GOAT.
twice. You know,
Crazy.
he did three-peats. Domination, bro. Like we haven't seen that ever.
And not only that, but the backstories, right? There was so much more going on.
Yeah.
And to be able to win and stay sharp through all that controversy, to me, it's something that you gotta admire.
He almost laughed at his pain. You saw it in his interviews. Media would come to him. It's like he knew this was coming and he laughed at it. He was laughing at their questions, you know?
So what you got?
Brushing it off.
I like it though, cause honestly, it's just about like niggas being petty. I feel this in the sense of I say that just cause when LeBron did the whole 73-9, you know, he beat the Golden State Warriors. The 52 years he did the Cleveland, this is for you, crying and everything, you know, like, and then he did a documentary, you know, he did his show, The Shop, and he's like, at that time when I beat that team, I was the greatest player of all time. Jordan had this sitting in the vault. He was just like, hold up. What? You tell me you beat a team that had better record us in the season, and then you become the best player of all time, but you got 6 losses in the finals, and you forgot about me? 6 times undefeated? I never lost. I never took a finals game to a game 7? That's just pettiness, man. So it's just like, I like it, because at the end of the day, I already knew this. Like, Jordan, we grew up watching it, so I found it disrespectful that the NBA still continues to have people wearing number 23. I think they need to do what they do in hockey. Wayne Gretzky, 99, nobody can wear that. Same thing should be like that for NBA. Jordan, there should be no AD, Draymond Green, Lou Williams wearing 23. You know what I mean? Fred VanVleet. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I'm sorry, no disrespect. They're all good players, but you're not on this level, you know? So at the end of the day, it's like, it was just to disrespect LeBron's ego and make sure, even if you pass him in rings, this ethered your career. Like, people will never see you as, because, Jordan was not there telling the GM, I need these 4 All-Stars to beat the Celtics, or I need to beat the Pistons. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to toughen up Scotty. I'm gonna play my games with Steve Kerr and all the rest of them, John Paxson. I'm going to let these people know I run the show. And somehow, successfully, he achieved his goal, you know?
If MJ would have stayed retired after his 3rd ring, which player or team would have dominated the rest of the 90s?
Zil, get him.
Yeah, I think in that question, like, because 94, 95, you know, MJ was gone, and you got Houston that won. But I seen in the series in 96 where Seattle Supersonics swept the Rockets in the 2nd round. And the only reason that, you know, that the Bulls won, they came through, that team that did not succeed is because Michael came back and he did his thing. But they also beat them the year before. I'm talking about the Orlando Magic. I feel like the fact that Shaq got disrespected by Hakeem, 95, he would have come back stronger. And if MJ didn't come back, I'm sorry, Seattle and Orlando face each other, it's a done deal. There's no way Shaq is getting disrespected by a no-name center named Vladimir Potavenko or something like that. You can't allow that to happen, you know what I mean? So, like, I think that Orlando, Penny Hardaway, Shaq, he wouldn't have went to the Lakers, you know? That would have stopped. For a fact, if Jordan never came back, there would have been no Shaq and Kobe. So Penny might have been that guy. He might have been a 3-peat, and then it would have been a different time, you know? That's what I feel, in my opinion. What Jordan did was disrespectful. He terrorized some future Hall of Famers like Patrick Ewing, Chris Mullins, Reggie Miller, your boy John Stockton, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. Like, these men, they wake up when they watch The Last Dance. I just make sure people check. You know? Like, there's no like, are you drinking, or like, there's no suicide thoughts, you know, because it's disrespectful.
You said Patrick Ewing can't watch that, so you saw that?
Absolutely.
Would you?
Absolutely.
What do you mean? Like, do you know when Jordan was retired, they were up 3-2 against Hakeem Olajuwon. They lost 2 games straight. You know what I mean? Like, Jordan's not even there. Like, you have the ghost of Jordan somewhere gone. And then you're up 3-2 in the finals, and then you choke, and then come on. And then he comes back. It's a done deal, man. Yeah, what y'all think?
I could actually co-sign a lot of what you just said, man. I was thinking, like, you know what? If Jordan doesn't come back, O'Neal never goes to LA. Because he had Nets in Orlando. And Hardaway would have been the perfect complement 1-2 piece. And that's your guy, Melo. So I know you would have been happy with the whole Orlando thinking they would have won at least 1 or 2 rings. So Michael, and you know what, you just put a point, because I was watching a documentary and I'm like, yo, Jordan stole a lot of rings from a lot of great players. Charles Barkley might have had one, right? Like, let's be honest, Karl Malone might have had one. Reggie, to me, Indiana. Like, you just mentioned Orlando. Indiana might have had a ring. Reggie, but they might have gone it together and said, you know what, let's get one. New York, Patrick, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm happy that New York didn't get that ring. Honestly,
Why?
Patrick Ewing don't look like a champion to me, man. I don't know what it is, bro. Like I tried, yo, and I was a fan with the whole Houston.
Is it because of the Scottie
Latrell.
Pippen dunk?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? That's what it is. But Scotty did something, and then when Future did to Scotty, it's like it's 2 L's. We can't allow that. Like, yeah, how
I'm
you
telling
going,
you, man. I don't know what it is. Like, I've always liked Ewing as a player, but he never looked like a champion to me. And it's like, to me, the only other person I could have maybe other than Orlando, Indiana. Reggie Miller might have had a ring. He
So
might
nobody
be
in the
East.
West, eh?
In the West, yo.
You don't think the
Phoenix,
Utah
yeah.
guys?
I'm happy they didn't win too because I
Okay,
wasn't a
yeah.
Utah fan.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
That's as bad as San Antonio Spurs winning a
but-
championship or what?
Hey, pardon me?
Utah, is it the same thing as
No,
as bad as San Antonio winning a
The
championship?
Spurs are respectable.
Okay.
The Spurs, when you look at the Spurs winning, it might be dull. You know, the big fundamental might be a bit boring to watch, but you respect it. You're like, you know what? That's how you put an organization together. You know what I mean? You don't need a bunch of superstars. They made it fit under a system.
Okay.
So you respect it. But Karl Malone, John Stockton, fuck that. They ain't get no rings. They get no rings, man.
So for the
Real
East,
shit.
for you be Indiana or Orlando?
I would like to see a Phoenix, Orlando. Real shit.
But no, Charles is done after that. Because of Houston, they won
You
back
think
to
so?
back.
Yeah, they were coming back?
If Hakeem won
Okay.
back to back, Charles Barkley was finished.
So then you
know
get
what I mean?
a rematch of Orlando Houston, and then this time Shaq,
Okay.
the Diesel
Yeah.
will come on top.
So for the West, it would be Houston. Then.
It would be Houston stuff because Hakeem is a beast.
Yeah.
Hakeem did his thing.
Yeah.
After 94, 95, because he's not the skill set.
Yeah,
He
for sure.
has to put it back together,
Uh-huh.
right? So you still put him, but this time you have Orlando coming back, and you have Shaq older, wiser, more mature, right?
Bald head, all that.
All that,
I feel like once
breaking
you cut your
backboard, taking off the rim, all that.
Man,
But
Yes,
it
your
would've
boy,
been-
when you get your hair wet?
you ain't got no more worries. Like, if you settle in your craft, if you go bald, you're like, fuck all of you.
And then you have it, folks. Hey, but Jordan, man, he still took a lot of risks from a lot of players. I'm just gonna say that, man. Real shit. I love it. Straight facts.
Alright.
ENT,
Straight
man.
facts.
Look at that.
All right, getting back to straight facts.
Yes, sir.
In your opinion, which player had potential to have one of the best careers but was cut short due to injuries?
There's one thing that we gotta note as well. Any player that goes and falls into an injury, it takes away their confidence, parts of their confidence. And it takes a lot of willpower for a particular player to gain that confidence back and even grow it even bigger
What about
than it
Westbrook?
was. Pardon?
What about Westbrook?
But I'm just wanting to get that point out. But you guys can go ahead and say
Yeah, on that part, I agree with what you're saying. But
Yeah.
like you said, what about Westbrook? You know, Westbrook. You know, he had a couple of surgeries on his knee, arthroscopic knee surgeries, but he came back better. You know, not
Yeah.
everyone is fortunate
Yeah.
to be in that case.
Yeah.
You even have Grant Hill, where like he had a bad ankle injury, but he still managed to get himself into the Hall of Fame. So I can't get mad at that. But me personally, I'm gonna say Brandon Roy. The guy had 5 full seasons with Portland Trail Blazers. He was a 3-time All-Star. This guy was just coming, like just disrespectful, like dunking on people. He had a shot. I mean, just the knees. Unfortunately, just the knees just said he ain't built for that, you know? So, like, I feel like if this guy didn't have knee surgery and all that shit, like, he could have actually give a problem to Kobe in the West. Not nothing special, but give him a problem because at the end of the day, Portland, they were up and coming. You had LaMarcus Aldridge, and you had him. You had Batum, but Brandon Roy, what he did against that season where Dallas eventually became the champions. Yeah, Brandon Roy, this guy was just disrespectful. He disrespected T-Mac in 2009 in the playoffs. Like, I saw that guy lose. You know what I mean? I was like, Jesus, Brandon Roy coming for T-Mac. Like, T-Mac was my dog, but I seen this light skin coming. I was just like, I have to salute, you know what I mean? But yeah, what you think?
Another good one, just to kind of go off of the same team, Trailblazers, Greg Oden. Greg Oden was
What?
drafted.
You think he would have been nice, Greg Oden?
Well,
for
yeah,
real?
man. He was.
I'm gonna listen to this one.
He had a very strong career at Ohio State. He came out, and he was never able to kind of get that shred going where he'd be able to stay healthy and stay on the court. When he was on the court, he was almost giving you 8 to 10 blocks a game. That's ridiculous numbers on the defensive side of the ball. Not only that, but he was still balling offensively, right? We never kind of got to see what he could have been or what he would have been in the league, just because of the fact that he couldn't even get on the field, on the court, I should say, right? So to me, just to kind of give you another one, Brandon Roy is a strong one. He had some flashy moments. He tried to kind of come back with Minnesota at the end of his career. It still
5
didn't
games.
work out. I know.
That's very sad.
That's what I mean. It's definitely tough. But at least we got a bit of a glimpse of what he could have been.
Okay.
Greg Oden, we never saw.
Question for you. Greg Oden or Penny Hardaway?
Pardon me?
Greg Oden or Penny Hardaway? Who was the career that like you really wanted to see between? If you talk about the injuries and
Well,
stuff.
I mean, Penny Hardaway, we saw him play. He had a full
He had
career.
4 good years. That's it.
But he had
After
a full
Shaq left,
career,
he was done.
but what we're telling you is the question. If you understood the question,
Full
is
career, go ahead.
the players that never got a chance to get a career.
Because Greg Oden got a ring with Miami, yeah?
Build accomplishments.
Once again,
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
I know you like to be
saying.
right.
No,
but what I'm trying to
just
let you
ask
know
you a
is
question.
for the players. What I'm letting you know is
You gotta
players
get
that never got it. No,
defensive,
I'm not letting you know. Like,
Let's
on
ask
the
the
same
question,
perspective
yeah.
of what you're saying is.
Yeah.
Hardaway had a career. He
How?
had
4
Orlando.
years?
Then he went.
Someone did.
Did he not go to Phoenix? Did he not go to
He
Phoenix?
was horrible in
So
Phoenix, man. Yo, what do you mean? Averaging
All right,
10 points?
so,
when you used
I
to
hear
be
you.
19 and
I'm-
18 and 20. That's a career?
But once again,
All-star.
if you're able to get more than 5 years in the league,
Yo,
that's
Greg
a career.
Oden did get more than 5 years because he
When?
won. How do you win a ring with Miami if he didn't come in the league in 2007?
by averaging what,
Okay,
like
so
8 to
thank you.
10
I rest
minutes
my
a
case,
game?
man. What you mean?
Come on, man.
Come on, you talk
Would
about
you
it.
would you put Isaiah Thomas on that list?
he was another one too with the elbow. When he got that elbow by
How?
Karl Malone.
Is he?
No, which eyes? He's talking about
Which
little
IT?
short
Little
one?
IT?
No, IT.
Oh, but he never got his contract. Yeah, that's another one. That was bad. IT, even right now, he's playing. Let's be honest. He was robbed of a contract. He sacrificed right after the passing of his sister.
Mm-hmm.
He played on a horrible hip. And Boston kind of just said, you know what, thank you, but we have to move on.
Right.
So you kind of have to. I see what you mean by Isaiah Thomas in this point. Like, even right now, he's playing. He's getting what, 1 year contracts if he's lucky. He's barely cracking the rotation. So the injury robbed him. Derrick Rose is another one that comes to mind. That's
Facts.
a big robbery when you take a look. Tim Thibodeau, man. I know wherever you're sitting, you got to hold some of that weight. What we see with Derrick Rose, even in Detroit this year,
Yeah.
we know is a fraction of what
Facts.
Derrick Rose could have been.
They said he was
Right.
Westbrook on steroids.
He was the first Westbrook.
Yeah, true.
Like, right, Westbrook probably took the blueprint and said, hey, let me build myself a career, and went off of Derrick Rose. But the reason why I didn't put him into my initial answer, just to let you know, is because Derrick Rose is still playing. So he still has a career.
He dropped 50,
right?
man. Yeah,
Pardon me?
like he dropped 50, so like that's a comeback right there. You can't even, sorry.
But-
But none of these players that got injured are dropping 50. Derrick Rose, like,
Oh, yeah.
hells no.
Oh, but Derrick Rose, let's be honest, Derrick Rose is dropping 50 because he's in Detroit.
No, he did that in Minnesota when he did that.
Was he in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
last year. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. So-
But even this year right now, like,
No,
to
just-
me, like, the Derrick Rose we're seeing today is not what he could have. Like, that's right. It's like you're getting,
facts.
like,
Big facts.
scraps of what he could have been is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah, I get what
right?
you're
So,
Same with Penny.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear you. I see you're really driving that penny boat.
I'm just saying,
You're really
man.
driving that
Derrick
penny
Rose
boat.
had longer
But
years in the
listen,
league than
Penny
Penny.
did, like, he had a, like, to me, I hear you. Penny
Because
is in
Derrick
the
Rose
same
was Rookie of the Year.
MVP,
NBA
youngest
MVP.
MVP ever.
Facts.
But what I'm saying is this:
Beautiful.
Penny got 2 stops. He got to have a solid run with Orlando.
That's it.
Swept.
That's
and then
it.
he went to Phoenix.
Didn't do shit.
So, and in that case, we should throw an honorary mention Tracy McGrady, because Tracy McGrady was robbed of a real career because of back injuries.
He had at least a good 8 good years of basketball.
It's the same thing as Penny.
No, Penny was done after 5 years.
Anyway, listen, I'm not gonna argue back. But you see what I'm saying?
Good point,
The
good
career
point.
versus non-careers. We could do this all day. I'm telling you, I got numbers. Thank you for tuning to Straight Facts. Stay healthy, COVID free.